Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com, coming to you from the Campbell's Custom Care Studio.
Hey, thanks for joining us here at Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com. Today, we're going to encourage you to put your socks on. Okay, not on your feet, on your tires. This is called the Snow Sock, and it comes to us from our friends at Shark Industries. Dino, you guys have a huge catalog, first of all, at Shark. We can get into some of the other items, but this is something you brought for show and tell, and I think this is really going to help a lot of people out. How does it work?
Basically, it's an alternative to chains, and it's a fabric that absorbs the moisture from the snow that creates the slipping. And you just slip the snow sock onto the tire, and it creates additional traction. It's a traction aid.
It makes me think of skiing or ice skating, where you're gliding on the water on the surface, and that's what makes it slip.
Yes.
And this takes care of that problem. Where does that moisture go once it absorbs into here?
So it absorbs through the fabric or the textile material, and it dissipates through the tread of the tire.
Just like it would do normally.
Just like it normally, if you're driving in the rain, the tires are designed to take the water and dissipate them out the side.
Folks right now are looking at this going, really? Does that work compared to these big chains? What's the traction like with these?
It's pretty impressive. I mean, you would never think something like this would work. And I'll be honest, I was a skeptic at first, about 9 years ago when we first saw these. And I put the snow socks on, and I was amazed on how much traction. Now, you have to control the throttle. You don't want to go over 25, 30 miles an hour, similar to chains.
And you're not spinning your wheels up to 80,000 RPM.
You're not spinning your wheels. No, that's not the idea. The idea is just to allow the fabric to absorb the moisture, and it grips onto the snow. The inventor remembered as a child, his mom would put socks on his shoes to walk to school to prevent him from slipping. That concept then translated to, why don't we make a snow sock for tires?
Of course, this isn't a long-term thing. You're not going to leave this on all winter.
No, absolutely not. This is designed for the scenario where you go to work in the morning and a beautiful sunny day, and all of a sudden a storm rolls in and you end up with 6 to 8 inches of snow. And they can't clean the roads up quick enough, but you want to be able to get home with a peace of mind. And that's where the snow sock really comes in hand. And when you get home, you just remove them. They are washable. You take and throw them in the washer and just let them air dry. Throw them in the trunk of your car for the next snowstorm.
What is the installation process like?
It's so simple. You get the snow sock onto the tire as far as you can, drive the car forward, and then put the balance of the snow sock onto the tire. No more than 5 minutes aside.
And you can see with chains, just sorting them out is a mess to begin with, and figuring out what the orientation is for those chains. And remember too, you're probably going to be doing this in 20-degree weather because it's snowed on you now.
Wind's blowing, you're cold, your hands are freezing.
And the chains are going to be freezing.
And the chains are very heavy. These are very light. They're easy to maneuver and get on the tire.
Now, what's the difference between the red snow sock and the white one?
We have the classic, and then we have the super. The super is a thicker, larger weave material, just lasts longer than the classic. Traction-wise, you're not going to lose any traction by either picking the classic or the super. They're traction-wise the same.
So I see the super as being, maybe you live in a snowy place, you're using it more frequently. The red ones get you home.
Just to get you home, yes.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
I love it. And now we have folks watching all over North America. Where can they use these? I know Washington State is particularly sticky. The DOT, California and Colorado are tough to get approval. Yes. Can folks use them in those areas?
Yes, absolutely. We're approved in all 3 states, and because we're approved in all 3 states, you can use it pretty much throughout the U.S.
And Canada as well.
And Canada as well.
Excellent. Now, I've mentioned the giant catalog you have at Shark Industries, and another thing you brought to show us here is the Ceram Lube. Now, this is a 38-year-old product, but it's kind of the industry standard. What am I going to use this for?
The Ceram Lube is used in any area that you want lubrication that there's high heat. What it does, it allows parts to move against each other in a high heat environment like a brake, rotor, or caliper. It lubricates, it prevents squealing and sticking.
There are other folks making this. They call it ceramic. How does yours compare to theirs?
The difference is that our product has 30% solid ceramic product in it compared to our competitors. They use about 0.1% to 1%.
If you don't want to make the commitment and buy the big can of it, you can get a sample for free from our friends at Shark Industries. This will do an entire brake job?
Yes.
Excellent. You'll be sold once you do the first brake job.
Absolutely.
This is the real deal. You can check out the Ceram Lube. You can check out the Issy Snow Sock at sharkind.com. There's also a special discount there for Motorhead Garage viewers, Snow 21. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com.